Captain? When are you coming back? Captain! Hello? Miss? Miss? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Excuse me, but the evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Would you tell me your name, please?
Flora White.
Flora. Could I persuade you to come out of the rain, Flora? You'll catch your death out here.
I don't care.
I'm quite certain Mr. Tesla has fresh towels and a nice fire inside.
Do you know him?
Do I know who?
Tesla. Do you know Mr. Tesla?
Well, obviously you must, to have come all the way out here.
Is he your friend?
My friend? No. No, I never met him.
Then he won't listen to you. He won't let me in.
I'm quite certain Mr. Tesla is a man of common decency. Of course he'll let you inside. I'll make sure of it. Please. Now, what makes you think Mr. Tesla won't let you inside?
He told me so. He already turned me away.
He did? What's this? Miss, I believe this could be yours.
Oh, dear God, thank you. Thank you. I couldn't bear to lose this.
It's very pretty. So you were saying Mr. Tesla turned you away? Why would he do that?
What's your name, sir?
My name is Gustav.
You're very kind, Mr. Gustav. But I'm afraid this is a private matter.
The door. It's open. Mr. Tesla?
Is he all right? No. No.
Stand back, miss. What's going on here?
Detective Gustav, I assume. My apologies, I didn't hear the bell. You must be exhausted. Sweden is a long way to come from. If you will be so kind as to follow me, I will show you to your room.
Stop. Who are you?
I am Oliver Swan, sir. Mr. Tesla's manservant.
You're his butler.
Yes, sir.
What happened here?
What do you mean, sir?
Are you blind?
Yes, sir. Blind from birth.
Besides the three of us, how many people in this house?
4, sir.
Call them down immediately. Bang the gong.
Sir?
You're a detective.
Bang the gong right now. No, I'm not.
But he called you detective.
Mr. Swan,
Sir?
how many exits in this building?
Only the front door, sir. But all the windows can be opened from the inside.
What's that?
That's the murder weapon.
Why the devil is the dinner gong being rung at such an hour? My God. Is he dead?
Mr. Swan, stay where you are. Who are you?
Edison. Thomas Edison.
Edison, the inventor.
Tesla invited me. Who are you?
My name is Gustav.
Gustav?
That's right.
The detective so good they named him Twelve. I read about you in the papers, of course. Your downfall was quite Shakespearean.
Who are you?
I don't know what kind of detective doesn't recognize the most famous stage actress in the world. That's Sarah Bernhardt. The Divine Sarah?
And you, what's your name?
My name is Augustus van der Berg. I'm Marcus van der Berg's son.
Marcus van der Berg, the famous railroad magnate.
I can't be here. I've got to get out of here.
Nobody's going anywhere!
I can't be here. I mean, what are people going to say?
They'll say Tesla had himself an accident.
Oh, this was no accident. He died from a blow to his head, and the blood has only started congealing around the edges. This happened less than 10 minutes ago.
What does that
It
mean?
means I'm a murder suspect.
We all are.
We can't leave him like this.
I need to mark the time of death. My pocket watch is still on Swedish time. Mr. Edison, you are an American. You have the local time, yes?
Why does he look so old?
The time, please.
6 o'clock. Exactly. Six o'clock. Exactly 6.
There's someone out there, look!
Nobody moves. Stop! Turn around!
I can't make it out.
I'm unarmed.
I hope so. For your sake.
The killer's trying to escape.
How do we know that's the killer?
Innocent men don't run.
Back to the house.
They're coming back.
Why in God's name didn't he just shoot him?
Maybe he'd rather ask questions first.
Stop. Mr. Swan, where's the dining room?
That way, sir. And we have a telephone there too.
Keep walking.
Well, that was over quickly.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
I wonder if Tesla has a set of gallows around here somewhere.
Nobody's to leave this house. I intend to speak with each of you. That's far enough.
Last will and testament of Victor Mundy. I, Victor Mundy, direct that all estate, inheritance and other death taxes shall be paid as an expense of administration upon my death. Any remaining assets to my name shall be left in whole to my beloved dog, Lucky. Signed, Victor Mundy.
Vanderberg boy drowns. The eldest son of railroad magnate Marcus Vanderberg drowned last night while playing on the ice of Longton River with his brother Augustus. Heir to the family riches, Marcus was often hailed by his father as the better son.
My last will and testament.
Strange thing to travel with.
Every man's journey ends in the grave. I'm just prepared. If you die without a will, then they auction off everything you had. And I won't stand for that.
Victor Mundy. That your name?
Yep.
All right. Why did you run, Mr. Mundy?
'Cause I'm a murderer.
Sir, Mr. Mundy is here by invitation. Same as you and the other guests.
Sit down.
Sir, the local police can take charge of this matter for you.
Local police? Why not? Hello, operator. Please connect me to the police, please. Hello, police? This is Detective Gustav. Yes, it's Swedish. I'm calling from Mr. Tesla's island. There's been a murder here, and I need you to send a boat immediately. Thank you. Mr. Swan, would you please tend to the other guests until the police arrive?
Very well, sir.
Tell me the truth right now. You said Mr. Tesla turned you away. Why would he do that?
I was his assistant. A few months ago, he fired me without notice. I came here to beg for my job back. I need money, but he wouldn't even let me inside to talk.
You worked here.
Yes.
You know the house. Right then, take this. Search each floor and report back to me.
We only just met.
I trust you.
I could be the killer for all you know.
No, you couldn't. Because when I met you out in the rain, there were no footprints around you.
What does that prove?
In this weather, that kind of soil, rain takes at least 20 minutes to wash away footprints. Which means that you were sitting exactly where I found you, for at least 20 minutes before I arrived. But Mr. Tesla was killed less than 10 minutes before we found him. So you see, you're the only person I can trust in this house. I am a detective. And I will catch this killer.
But he just said he did it.
Did he? You can go now.
All right. Please be careful, Mr. Gustav.
I will.
Who's the French woman out there?
I don't think you're Miss Bernard's type, Mr. Mundy. So, you killed Mr. Tesla?
You say I did.
Really? Why would I say that?
Because I killed before. I killed my wife. And a bit on the side. I did 26 years behind bars for it. So I'm an easy scapegoat for something like this. That's why I ran.
And why did you come?
Because I got a letter. Out of the blue. Tesla said he can change my life. Make my mistake undone. Let's just say he got my attention. He said the same to you, didn't he?
How well did you know him?
First I'd ever heard of him when I got a letter. And when I got here, the blind bloke opened the door. First time I'd ever seen Tesla, or any of the other guests, is when you found him.
Not much of an alibi, Mr. Mundy. A blind man.
When I killed my wife, my daughter testified against me. Little Mary Mundy. 7 years old she was back then. But those fancy men in their wigs, they believed her. That's why I snuck a knife into the courtroom. I went for her throat. But I missed. I took her nose clean off her face. A juicy little scrap for the courthouse dog. I still dream about finally gutting that ungrateful bitch, wherever she is now.
Why are you telling me this?
'Cause you need to understand, if I want to kill someone, I don't hide it. I don't lie. People lie 'cause they're afraid. And I ain't afraid of nothing. What about you?
Me? I don't like violent men, Mr. Mundy. They bring out the worst in me. Do not try to leave this house before my investigation is over. You can go. For now. Mr. Tesla? Captain? Call them down immediately. Hello, operator. Please connect me to the police, please. Search each floor and report back to me. Tell me the truth right now.
My mind is bursting at the seams. I can barely transcribe my designs before 100 more flood into my head. I have reduced my sleep to 3 hours each night, yet still, I feel I need another lifetime to achieve what is within me. No matter what I do, there is never enough time. 3 nights ago, I had a dream. It felt more vivid than my waking hours. In the dream, I saw a new design, a radio of some kind. When I woke, I found I had sketched the blueprint in my sleep. Impossible, and yet it was so. Today, a reporter was visiting my workshop. They saw the blueprint and asked what it does. I lied and said it was a means to contact the dead, a spirit radio. But the truth is, I do not know what it does, only that I must build it.
Dear Mr. Tesla, thank you for your kind, if rather ambiguous, invitation. I do not know how you came to hear of me, but in truth, I'm very short of friends these days, so I will gladly come to your island. However, while I'm there, please refrain from offering me drink. There are parts of me that I do not care for, and alcohol tends to bring them forth. I look forward to meeting you.
No! No! I'm going to save you. I promise.
At first, I planned to use ethanol as a gasoline extender while I finished building the electric generators. But due to a lack of availability, I had to experiment. Much to my surprise, I found that tequila works.
Mr. Tesla. Whilst I have the greatest respect for you as a fellow engineer, I must say the accusation you made in your letter did nothing short of horrify me. To suggest that my brother's death was anything other than a tragic accident is a profoundly offensive notion. I loved my brother just as my father did. I have no idea how or why you would claim to know such details anyway, since the event occurred more than 15 years ago. Sincerely, Augustus Vanderberg, Esquire.
The man in room 3327. Wednesday, January 8th, 1997. Last week, an unknown Serbian-born man was found dead in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. What makes his story unusual is that according to his passport, he was 141 years old. If true, that made him the oldest person in human history. The man's name had been scored out of his passport, as if to hide his identity. The question is, why?
Tesla. Rich men like you are always fascinated by men like me. Men from the mud. Your offer got my attention. But remember, just because meat gets a lion's attention, it don't mean that you want to be there when he comes sniffing for it. See you soon.
Captain? Captain? When are you coming back? Captain! Captain!
The detectives.
assume. My apologies. I didn't hear.
You talk to me, Lord. How many times do I have to confess to you? I sinned. I murdered.
Yes, sir.
But I want to be a better man now.
What do you mean, sir?
So why do I still want to kill that little wretch? Do you want me to do it? Is that it? Then show me a sign, Lord. Tell me what kind of man you want me to be. If you want me to change, change me.
Sir?
Or I'll have to decide for myself.
Sir?
How many exits in this building?
Only.
Come, my friends. 'Tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order smite the sounding furrows. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset, and the paths of all the western stars, forever. Today, my assistant, Flora, finally received news of her husband. I know I am expected to comfort her, but my mind is consumed with completing the spirit radio. I do not know what it will do when I switch it on, but I will find out tonight.
Monsieur Tesla, I'm afraid your bizarre offer to make my mistake undone falls on deaf ears. For you see, I do not regard what I did as a mistake at all. That wretched old man abused dozens of women just like me. I could not let that continue. I do not know how you found out, but this secret will remain a secret, or it will be the worse for you. Veuillez agréer, Sarah Bernard.
The door, sir, but all the windows can be opened from the inside.
Oh, bloody hell.
Stop! Why not?
Letter. Tesla to Edison. Dearest Thomas, let us dispense with euphemism. We both know you did not invent the famous Edison phonograph. It was the work of Louis Le Prince, a man who then took his own life because you stole his life's work. This is the last time I will ask you. Come to the island, or I will tell the world. Thomas, I can make your mistake undone. Sincerely. Where does he get his ideas? Thomas Edison seems to have more ideas than one man could master. Ask him, and he will tell you he has the mind of 10 men hidden inside his remarkable cranium. A charming gentleman, with a wit only matched by his education, Edison puts it all down to sleep. He rests a mere 6.5 hours each night.
Mr. Edison, you promised innovation. You promised greatness. Yet 10 months after investing in you, we are still left wanting. If you cannot fulfill your obligation to us, do not expect us to fulfill our financial obligation to you. Sincerely, J.P. Morgan.
Only the front door, sir, but all the windows can be opened from the inside.
I said. You want to make love to me.
Miskatonic University, Arkham Library. Card number 1916. Name, Nikola Tesla. Address, 454 Angel Street, Providence. Book on loan, Necronomicon by Abdul El-Hazred.
That's the murder weapon.
Why the devil is the dinner gong being rung at such an hour? My God. Is he dead?
Mr. Swan, stay where you are. Who are you?
Edison. Thomas Edison.
Edison.
Who's out there? Did he kill him?
I don't know, I can't see. I can't make it out.
Please! Someone, tell me, what is
The killer's
happening?
trying to escape.
How do we know that's the killer?
Innocent men don't run.
But men with guns are not to be trusted.
They're coming back.
Why in God's name didn't he just shoot him?
Maybe he'd rather ask questions first.
Or maybe they're friends.
Stop. Mr. Swan, where's the dining room?
That way, sir. And we have a telephone there too.
Keep walking.
Well, that was over quickly.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
I wonder if Tesla has a set of gallows around here somewhere.
Nobody's to leave this house. I intend to speak with each of you.
I must confess, Miss Bernhardt, I'm quite a fan of yours. Does that surprise you? You know who I am, of course. When your name is up in lights, those are my lights.
You want to make love to me.
I don't know how you came to that conclusion, but I can assure you that
There's a one man who does not want this.
You are quite beautiful.
You are far too easy. I prefer dangerous men.
Oh. I am dangerous.
Then tell me, what is the worst thing you have ever done?
You couldn't handle it. Your makeup is very thick.
All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. I simply want to look my best for the part that I play in life, darling.
Perhaps I will accompany you to your bedroom.
Perhaps. Later.
It might not be safe up there.
If the most dangerous man in the house likes me, then I'm not in any danger.
Well, Nicola, other than inviting your own murderer, your taste in guests is impeccable. faith in this? An incantation for astral projection. Animum carumpare quia sedectilis velit. The great Tesla, caught in a snare set to catch fools. A man's mind is exposed by his books. And here you are, a man of science, without a single volume on the subject. Nothing but spiritual mumbo-jumbo. Animum carumpare quia sedectilis velit. Seduce the mind because it wants to be seduced. Levare cerebrum ab incanabulus. Lift the mind from its cradle. Volare sursum incrustinum. Fly up, up into tomorrow. Are you in there, Tesla?
I challenge you.
I was afraid to come here. I thought I would come face to face with an inventor who is greater than I. But I see now who you really are. Nothing but a parlor trick.
Checkmate. 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 Checkmate.
Yeah!
Checkmate. Checkmate. Checkmate.
Checkmate! Blind servant, Tesla.
Have I gone mad? I sit night after night listening to the spirit radio. But there is nothing but static. Electrical impulses. What was I expecting to find? I've sacrificed weeks upon weeks for nothing. I'm a fool. From this moment, my life is changed forever. The sounds from the spirit radio were not random. They were a message, instructions in Morse code teaching me how to tune the radio. And when I did tune it, A voice spoke to me. I cannot bring myself to write his name. Not yet. But I knew immediately who it was. He told me to close my workshop here in Colorado, to travel to Heston Island and purchase the house there, no matter the cost. Flora thinks I am mad. But tomorrow, I will do just that. Mandy trial erupts in violence. The London florist Victor Mandy attacked and mutilated his own daughter in a packed courtroom today. Mary Mandy, age 7, was testifying against her father for the murder of her mother. Mr. Mandy was later sentenced to 26 years in prison. The man on the radio told me to search beneath the house. He told me I would find a passageway carved deep into the bedrock of the island. And at the end of that passage would be a door. He was right. That door must have been sealed for 100 years. But when I opened it, I found a letter inside, addressed to me from him. In it, he told me what the room can do. And I believe him. The man on the radio told
Nicola, how many tears must I shed? How desperate do you want me to be? Are you so inhuman that you cannot understand how I feel? You cannot keep me away forever. I am coming to the island again. This time I will not take no for an answer.
It has been challenging to divert resources for Mr. Westinghouse's project so that I may build the Wardenclyffe Tower here in secret. But at last, it is complete. The hydroelectrics are almost in place, and soon the storm generator will be functional. Flora does not know why I am building these things, and so she cannot understand my impatience. But they are integral to making the room work.
Relax a while in the library, and when I come back, I will make hot tea, and we will talk. Yes?
I'm so glad you found me. You know, a man like you would usually be scrambling around the...
Oh my. Waste not, want not. Help! Help!
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you're trying to impress me, I've seen better, huh?
How did you know what to do?
Darling, I'm an actor. I know what a laudanum overdose looks like.
Laudanum? No, it was some whiskey I found. Good
Well,
whiskey.
then you shouldn't touch things that don't belong to you. It will be your downfall, especially if you're such a lightweight.
No. I was poisoned.
Perhaps it was meant for Tesla.
Perhaps, but I drank it.
Okay.
Not many people have seen me at my weakest.
It doesn't look so bad. Perhaps don't make a habit out of it, huh? Oh, okay. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Tell me the truth right now.
Like a dead limb that he once took off.
Your suitcase, sir. The police will arrive shortly. Are you all right, sir?
Just leave me alone, please.
Very well, sir.
Wait. Could you... Would you tell my father that I'm giving him what he wants most in this world?
And, What is that, sir?
Another dead son. It's the only kind he seems to care about. So tell him I'm drinking this poison for him. Bottoms up.
Whatever is the matter, hurting yourself is not the answer. Why would you poison your own drink?
Because I can't make my father love me.
All fathers love their sons.
You know, I've tried to be what he wanted. But all he tells me is fine feathers don't make a fine bird.
Well, you seem like a very fine bird to me. Young man, fathers are not always right. You are drunk. And no man thinks good thoughts when he is drunk. Come, you must take a walk and clear your head. What kind of man would I be if I let the arm come to you? Huh? Come. Do you know what you have there?
I think Tesla called it a spirit radio.
Yes. So, you are interested in machines, in engineering.
Well, my father's an engineer. Brought the railroads to England and designed the carriages that run on them. He's a great businessman. You know, I thought maybe if I learnt about machines, then we could find some common ground.
Well, this house is full of mechanical wonders. Now, I must take Miss Barnhart her suitcase. But please, explore the house. Take your troubles off your mind, young man.
Oh, please, let me carry that for you. I'm embarrassed to see you still working for us.
Oh, no. You're a good boy. You relax a while in the library, and when I come back, I will make hot tea, and we will talk some more. Yes?
I'm so glad you found me. You know, a man like you would usually be scrambling around looking for Tesla's will. He had money, you know. Sure, he left you and your family plenty.
Such things do not interest me.
So, Tesla's library, it's in there? I'm so sorry. You can't see where I'm pointing, can you?
Well, if it smells like dust and old socks, you are on the right track.
Thank you.
Perhaps such things do interest me.
Where is Tesla? Once a flamboyant man about town, the inventor Nikola Tesla has not been seen in over 5 months. After abandoning his workshop in Colorado Springs, rumors have spread that he has taken his own life. Fellow inventor, Thomas Edison commented, "Wherever he is, I wish Nikola only the best. I imagine that mediocrity is a terrible burden." It has been challenging to divert resources for Mr. Westinghouse's project, so that I may build the Wardenclyffe Tower here in
I'm going to save you.
And it's a long...
Peeling around the edges. This happened less than 10...
Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. James?
I must confess, Miss Bernhardt.
Can you hear me, James? Are you out there somewhere?
You know who I am. When your name is up in lights, don't you
You know, I think secretly, Father's glad you drowned. Because it's given him another reason to hate me. Last week, when I left Manchester, he said, I hope the Atlantic is as kind to you as it was to your brother. I tried to be like you, James. I buried my urges. But I suppose I'm always going to be a disgrace to him, aren't I? And now, here I am again, mixed up in another scandal, a murder. And you know what the papers will say. And he'll read them, and he'll believe them. He'll disown me forever. I'm like a dead limb that he once cut off. Maybe it's time I cut myself off. James. James.
disgraced Swedish detective quits. Detective Gustav has taken early retirement from the Swedish police force. Once famous as the inspiration for the mystery novel, The Detective So Good They Named Him Twice, Gustav is now better known for foolishly releasing his own prime suspect during a murder investigation. Following his recent divorce and financial troubles, Gustav is not expected to return to law enforcement.
An Actor Never Lies by Thomas Abramoff. The great actor's mission is to tell a lie that is indistinguishable from the truth. But beware. An audience smells a lie as a shark smells blood. The acting techniques found in these pages will teach you how to make the untrue become true. You will learn to live as your character, night and day, until you are but a memory. Only the character will survive.
You want to make love to me?
I said. You want to make love to me?
You're safe. He can't hurt you now. You're safe. You're safe. He can't hurt you now. He can't. You're safe. You're safe. He can't hurt you now. You're safe. You're safe. He can't hurt you now. You're safe. You're safe. He can't hurt you now. You're safe.
Let me play that for you.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, I thought Mr. Swan was in here.
Flora. Did you find anything?
No. Nothing.
Do you want to know where the butler is?
I was hungry. What about Victor Mundy? I thought he did it.
I'm going to talk to everybody.
Why did you lie about being a detective?
I didn't lie.
You didn't tell the truth.
All that matters is bringing this killer to justice.
I have a right to know who I'm stuck in this house with. Why did you say you weren't a detective?
Because a real detective doesn't make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. You look like you could use a drink. I know where Tesla keeps the good whiskey.
No, there's work to be done.
So who do you think killed Mr. Tesla?
It's a little early for that. But I have my suspicions.
Who?
Mr. Edison!
You think it was Edison?
Go.
I'll check the rest of the house.
I am a respected inventor, detective, not a dog. Don't call me in such a manner.
Sit.
I see you don't drink the house whiskey.
Your cologne smells very expensive.
It's rose water. Same scent that Mozart wore.
Ah. Hoping some of his genius would rub off on you.
I already am a genius.
Isn't that what they say about you and Tesla? That you are the Salieri to his Mozart.
You've got a damn nerve.
You knew each other well, didn't you? At best you were rivals, at worst enemies maybe. Yet according to the papers, Mr. Tesla out-invented you time and time again. Have I got that right?
Nikola Tesla was no more my equal than you are, detective.
Then why come all the way out here?
Perhaps you should lay off the booze, Mr. Gustav. It pushes a man's mind in foolish directions.
You came to kill Tesla, didn't you?
Who the hell do you think you are?
Well, if you didn't, why are you here? Why are you here, Mr. Edison?
Because I wanted to know what he meant.
About what?
Tesla said if I came, he could make my mistake undone. I wanted to know how.
What mistake? Oh, I assure you, I will find out either way.
A man like me receives dozens of unsolicited designs every day. Some of my inventions may have been, shall we say, inspired by those designs. And somehow Nikola found out. He called it my great mistake. Dear God, I do hope this isn't your will. There's barely a word spelled correctly.
So, you stole your inventions. You're not a genius, you're a thief.
You can't put a steak in front of a wolf and expect them not to eat it.
Tesla could have ruined your name. That's a powerful motive for murder.
You think I would really tell you all that so willingly if I actually killed the man?
Well, in my experience, people tend to tell a little truth to hide the bigger lie.
Brilliant theory, Detective. But I'm afraid I must exonerate myself. Follow me. Heel. Mr. Vanderberg! Mr. Vanderberg!
What are you doing?
Very important life today. Believe me.
Murder is a matter of motive and opportunity, yes? Evidently, you're stupid enough to believe I was sufficiently motivated. But let us now test your little theory and see if I had opportunity. Where the hell is that boy? Probably got stuck in a pile of his father's money. Mr. Vanderberg!
If you had an alibi, Mr. Edison, you would have told me by now.
I didn't expect to be accused.
All right. Where were you when Mr. Tesla was killed?
I was alone in my room.
Not a very good alibi, is it?
I don't remember hearing yours. Maybe you killed him.
Hello? What's going on?
Tell him what you told me. About what you heard. You heard a woman. Tell him.
Well, a few minutes before you arrived, I heard something.
What?
Someone, a woman's voice, arguing with Tesla. It must have been moments before he was murdered.
A woman's voice? Whose voice?
I don't know. I was upstairs in my room and the storm was too loud to hear what they were up in arms about.
At that time, there was only one woman in this house.
You think she killed him?
Mademoiselle? Miss Bernard?
Oh, she seems pleasant enough. But they say she used to be a whitetail.
I'm afraid your American slang is lost on me, Mr. Edison.
Well, that's probably for the best. Just remember, she's an actress. She lies for a living.
Bonsoir, gentlemen. Have the police arrived?
No, not yet. Would you please come to the dining room, mademoiselle?
I'm not sure I can entertain all three of you at once.
Just me, Miss Bernard.
I suppose that'll do. Ooh la 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 la. You all look very serious.
A man did just die here.
Lied to me. I'm not.
But the show must go on, no?
Wait. I know what happened. There's a second lock on that door.
Shall we?
Yes, it is electromagnetic. If you want to open it, you must turn off the voltage regulator for the whole house.
Mr. Vanderberg, don't wander off too far. I intend to speak to you next. Gentlemen? So you're famous, Miss Bernard.
You flatter me, Monsieur Gustave. But an actor does not seek fame. We seek only truth.
Then we have one thing in common. By the way, Mr. Vanderberg says he heard you shouting at Mr. Tesla at the front door, moments before he was murdered.
Then Monsieur Vanderberg is a liar.
Really?
The butler let me in, not Tesla. He showed me to my room, and there I stayed until you arrived.
Well, if it wasn't you that was shouting at Mr. Tesla, then who?
I don't know. Perhaps we should have a séance and ask him.
Why did Tesla invite you here?
Just because you're handsome does not mean I will give up my secrets so fast.
I am an officer of the law. This will go as fast as I want it to.
But you'll get so much deeper if you go slow. Let's play a game together, huh?
I'm not interested in games.
But you are interested in the truth. In this game,
We'll take turns. You answer my question, and then I will answer yours. This way we both get what we want.
Go on.
Do you like me?
Doesn't everybody?
I only care if you do.
Why would you care?
Is that your question?
We.
Because if the most dangerous man in the house likes me, then I'm not in any danger.
Oh, I'm not dangerous.
Oh, what a pity. My turn. Monsieur Detective, is there such thing as a mystery that cannot be solved?
2 men on a roof. One fell off. There was no way of proving whether he was pushed or he jumped.
The perfect crime.
My turn. I think you came here because Mr. Tesla told you he could make your mistake undone. What was that mistake?
I made no mistake.
No?
No. Somehow, Tesla knew a secret that I never told another living soul. I didn't want him dead. I wanted to know how he knew. What's this?
It belongs to the man I caught outside. Something is burning. Stay here.
What are you talking about?
They've done it all my life. So maybe.
Hello? Is something burning? I smell smoke!
If you didn't do it, I demand to know who poisoned my drink! You wait right here. I'll be back.
What before I got hit in the face?
What's going on?
Somebody was trying to burn this document.
Well, it certainly wasn't me. I was downstairs. What is it? What does it say? For goodness sake, ma'am, what does it say?
It says other death.
What does that mean, other death? What other death?
Indeed.
It could be instructions for the killer.
No, this is Tesla's handwriting. Did you happen to see anybody else come up here?
No. No one but you. You smelled that burning from downstairs?
I did.
You've quite a nose.
Where were we?
Detective, I wish to be honest with you.
Oh, I thought you were honest all along.
I know who killed Tesla.
Who?
Victor Mondy.
And you know this exactly how?
I just know.
You have to do a little better than that.
Why else would he run away?
Remind me, what was your alibi?
You can't seriously believe what Vanderberg said about me. The spoiled little nouveau riche. Call him in here. If I am to be accused, I want to hear him say it to my face. Monsieur Vanderberg! Monsieur Vanderberg!
Well, I certainly seem to be at people's beck and call this evening.
You told Monsieur Gustave that you heard my voice right before Tesla was murdered.
Not exactly. I said I heard a voice.
No, you said you heard a woman's voice.
I was the only woman in the house. That is an accusation.
I can't be sure that it was a woman.
May I remind you that you told me quite plainly that you heard a woman arguing with Mr. Tesla moments before I found him dead.
I wasn't being entirely truthful.
Then be truthful now.
It wasn't a woman.
Why would you say it was?
Mr. Edison is a very passionate man.
So?
Passionate men are best agreed with when their blood's up. Honestly, I think the voice I heard was a man's.
A man like Victor Mondy.
I don't know.
Mr. Vanderberg, either you were lying then, or you are lying now.
This is the truth now. Maybe somebody else got into the house.
No. Victor Mondy tried to escape. That means he's guilty.
I will decide who's guilty and who's not guilty. How would somebody else have come into the house?
The butler's blind.
Mr. Swan! Get out, both of you.
Poisoned it. But then why save me?
Ah, Mr. Swan. There you are. Do you have a moment?
You must leave this house.
I intend to, but not yet.
You must go. Mr. Tesla did not want you here.
Well, he's dead, so you can drop the act.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have it your way. The lock. The door, he changed the lock. I want the new combination.
What door?
The door. You know the one I mean. And if you don't give me the combination, I'll tell everyone the truth about you.
Madam, we have never met before. I think perhaps you have me confused with
The
someone.
detective and I found Tesla dead. Then you showed up, and right there and then he asked you, besides us three, how many people are there in this house? Do you remember what you said?
No?
You said 4. 4 other people, which is strange because at that point you didn't know Tesla was dead because we hadn't told you yet. Which means you should have said 5.
It was just a mistake.
Maybe. Maybe you miscounted. Or perhaps you knew he was dead because you killed him yourself.
Madam, that is absolutely untrue.
Or perhaps there's another explanation. You could see he was dead. Because you're not blind at all. Are you?
Madam, I assure you, I have been blind my whole life.
Tesla may be dead. But if people found out you lied to get your position here, they'll send you back to where you came from. Back into chains.
I am blind.
There's enough suffering in this world already. I'd hate for you to be dragged back into your old life. I imagine it wasn't very nice.
But, madam, I am blind.
You're blind.
Yes, madam.
Very well. Then you're no use to me.
No.
There you are. Give me the combination.
I didn't see it clearly. He was always in the way.
Tell me.
One, 7, 1945.
Mr. Vanderberg!
You've saved a very important life today. Believe me.
Murder is a matter of motive.
Just make sure no one gets into the basement until I'm done.
You're stupid enough to believe I was sufficiently motivated. But
Why
listen
keep
now
the
carefully
secrets of a dead man anyway?
and see if I had opportunity. Where the hell is
Because
that
death
boy?
is what a good man should do.
Stuck in a pile of his father's money. Mr. Vanderberg!
And was Tesla a good man to you? Those marks on your hands. I know what they are.
I was alone in my room. About what you... Mademoiselle?
No!
Miss Bernard?
Lying son of a bitch!
I'm not sure I can entertain all three.
Out of my way.
Where are you going?
I'm going to tell everyone the truth about you.
No! Why?
You knew the door wouldn't open. You lied to me. I'm not to be trifled with.
Wait. I know what happened. There's a second lock on that door.
A second lock?
Yes, it is electromagnetic.
What does that mean?
If you want to open it, you must turn off the voltage regulator for the whole house.
Where's the switch?
Outside. Go out the front door. Turn right.
I may be a fool, but I'm not foolish. The second I go outside, you tell the detective I'm trying to escape and he shoots me.
But, madam, you can trust me. I swear.
I can trust the man who's been lying to every single person here. No, you're going outside.
I do hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all, sir.
So you were just standing here in total silence?
No, sir.
I was just thinking about you, Mr. Swan. About how you have the access to all the food and drink in this house.
Are you hungry? I could prepare a supper.
No, I'm not hungry. Just curious. I don't believe we've met. I'm the Thomas Edison. And you?
My name is Flora White.
Miss or Mrs.?
I suppose I'm...
Sounds complicated. So, did you know him well?
Who?
Tesla. Who else?
I'm not sure one ever knows a man like him.
And you two? You know each other?
No. We worked for Mr. Tesla at different times.
You worked for him as well. How interesting. I thought there was only one person here carrying out Tesla's orders. He didn't like me much, did he, Mr. Swan?
I am sure I don't know, sir.
I'm sure you don't. Let's drink a little house whiskey. A toast. To Tesla.
I don't care for the test, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's the truth.
Stop. I want to see him drink first. Drink. To your master.
I would prefer not.
You'd prefer not.
What are you doing? Stop it!
Drink it, you son of a bitch! I know exactly what you did, you pigeon-littered little wretch, but you can't kill me!
I didn't do anything!
It was Tesla's final wish, wasn't it? I want to hear you say it!
I don't know what you're talking about!
The whiskey, upstairs! You poisoned it!
No. That wasn't me!
Then who was it?
I'm not at liberty to say.
The hell you're not!
Who was it?
It was another guest.
Which other guest?
I cannot say, sir.
So you're in cahoots with them?
The whiskey was not meant for you. The person who put the poison in there intended to drink it themselves.
What are you talking about?
They were going to commit suicide.
Kill themselves? Why? Who?
The person in question had a change of heart. I don't think they would want me to mention their name. It's a private matter.
But what if the person wanted to kill themselves out of guilt for murdering Tesla? Then we have a right to...
No. That was not the reason. I am quite certain of that.
Then what was the reason?
Old pain from an old wound.
Hogwash! I don't believe a word of this.
I smell smoke.
If you didn't do it, I demand to know who poisoned my drink! You wait right here. I'll be back.
Where the hell do you think you're going?
The kitchen. Listen.
That's not what we agreed.
Well, that was before I got hit in the face.
Go and do what I told you. I have to get inside that room.
I have to put something on this.
My patience is wearing thin. I'll tell them, don't push me.
Push you?
There can't be that many cuts of steak in there. Choose one and get moving.
You should know. There's only so much a man can endure.
Believe me, women are no different. How long are you going to stand there? I said, how long are you going to...
Please! I just want a moment of peace.
I don't have time for this. I've suffered too, you know.
Madam, I don't know you, but I know I would win that contest.
No, you wouldn't.
I had a son. A good boy. God knows I loved him. But I abandoned him so I could escape the men who called themselves my masters. God knows that too. I ran all the way to America, but even here, even now, you people still all want to control me.
Remind me.
But you don't understand. I already have a master. My master is my shame. The shame I feel for leaving my boy. And now I realize
You told Monsieur Gustav that you held my voice right before
I will never be a free man.
No, you said you heard a woman's voice.
So,
That is an accusation.
you tell them whatever you want. You cannot control me anymore.
That you told me quite plainly that you heard a woman arguing with Mr. Tesla moments before I found him dead.
I think I've been trying to force you to help me because I was afraid that if I begged you wouldn't do it. I don't want to control anyone.
Why would you say it was?
I just want to get inside that room.
So?
Mr. Tesla promised me some money to start a new life in this country. But he left me nothing. There must be a lot of money in that room for you to care so much.
You can keep what's there.
No. Victor won't be
So it's
tried.
not money.
That means he's guilty.
What is in there?
A chance to make my mistake undone.
It means a lot to you.
It means everything.
Mr. Swan! Get out, both of you.
I will help you. I will let you know when it is done.
Mr. Swan. Thank you.
Mr. Vanderberg, either you... Flora, did you find anything?
I am a respected inventor, Detective, not a...
Tesla's will. Last will and testament of Nikola Tesla. I, Nikola Tesla, a resident of the state of New York, do hereby declare this to be my last will and testament. I direct that my executor pay my funeral expenses and any other death taxes imposed at the time of my death. Beyond this, my wishes are simple. I bequeath my entire estate to scientific museums of the world. All monies are to be distributed evenly to the museums of Europe, Asia, and the Americas. No man, woman, or child may lay individual claims to any of my estate. Signed, Nikola Tesla.
I, Nikola Tesla, a resident of the state of New York, do hereby declare this to be my last will and testament. You son of a bitch! This is what I get! This is my compensation! You know my circumstances. If I had known you were so heartless, I would have done something much worse than murder you.
Mr. Edison!
Mr. Swan. There you are.
Tell him what you told me. About what you heard. You heard a woman. Tell him.
I suppose that'll do. Ooh la 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 la.
Out of my way.
Where are you
I'm
going?
going to tell everyone the truth about you.
No! Why?
You knew the door wouldn't open. You lied.
I cannot say, sir.
So you're in cahoots with them?
The whiskey was not meant for you. The person who put it in India. Of that.
Then what was the reason?
Old pain from an old wound.
Something burning?
Hogwash! I don't believe a word of this.
I smell smoke.
If you didn't do it, I demand to know who poisoned my drink! You wait right here. I'll be back.
Believe what Vandenberg said about me.
I already
Spoil
have
the
a master.
nouveau riche. Call him in here. If I interview you, I will get him there.
My master is my shame. The shame I feel for leaving my boy.
Sarah Bernhardt knocks them dead. The famed actress took to the Paris stage last week, dazzling audiences with her interpretation of Shakespeare's Hamlet. Notorious theatre critic Benjamin Brantley praised her performance, saying, "This is a woman who knows tragedy. Is there any role she cannot play?"
And now I realize
You told Monsieur Gustav that you heard my voice right before
I will
Gustav
never
was
be
murdered.
a free man.
I said I heard a voice. No, you said you heard a woman's voice.
Flora found the room under the house. In my excitement, I told her what it can do. That was a mistake. She wanted to use it, of course, but I forbid her. She was angry. I had to send her away. I need a new assistant who will not be tempted by what they might see here. Swan's contract of servitude. This indenture, made the 19th day of June between Oliver Swan and Nikola Tesla, declares that Mr. Swan shall labor in servitude to Mr. Tesla in exchange for his passage from Zanzibar. This agreement shall stand until such time as the custom of the country declares it null and void.
Thank you.
I know how you feel.
An incantation for astral projection.
A secret door.
You look guilty.
Why do you say that?
Calm yourself, boy. People murder for personal gain. What more does a Vanderberg have to gain in life? It would take you 10 lifetimes to spend all that money. So, where were you when Tesla met his grisly fate?
Upstairs.
Ah. But how do you know that's when he died?
Well, it must have been some time between when that woman was shouting at him and when the detective arrived.
What woman?
Mr. Edison!
I'll be back.
What if she poisoned it?
Hello? What's going on?
Tell him what you told me. About what you heard. You heard a woman. Tell him.
Well,
Don't wander off too far. I intend to speak to you next.
Ain't you gonna ask me if I killed him?
well, I think that would be terribly gauche of me.
Gauche? I suppose that's a gentleman's word, is it?
That's kind of you to say so.
What's that?
It's, a spirit radio.
And what does a spirit radio do?
Well, Tesla said it was a means of contacting the dead, but you'd be a fool to believe that.
So why are you carrying it about then?
Well, it's a fine machine. And I appreciate the fine things in life.
I know you do.
I'm sorry?
William Turner.
William Turner.
He was an artist. He painted ships alone at sea, each of them at the mercy of a great storm. I know how those ships feel. And when he died, and I was in the clink, I sent a man with all my money to buy me one of his drawings. I couldn't afford one of his paintings. I just wanted something small. And at that same auction, another man, a rich gentleman, he swaned in and snapped up every single item for himself. Cost him $500,000, so they say. Snatched it all out of reach of the common man.
William Turner didn't leave a will. It was a public auction. And it was the right of any man to do what I did. And if it's any consolation, my father called it a waste of family money. He doesn't much care for art. Perhaps if another man, like say Mr. Edison, had died, and I bought up his estate, perhaps he'd be more grateful.
Am I to care what makes your father grateful?
No. I suppose not.
I've pulled a man's throat out for less than what you did. But no hard feelings, eh?
Would you excuse me? I don't feel very well.
Manners maketh the man, young Mr. Vandenberg.
Belongs to the man I called outside.
You gave me a
Something
sign.
is burning.
You
Stay
gave me
here.
a wonderful gift.
His name is Victor Mundi.
But men like him, they take away gifts like that from me. They've done it all my life. So maybe, just maybe, you don't want me to throw this away just yet.
Hello?
Monsieur! Monsieur, please! Please!
What's this about?
Us working girls never forget a face. Even we ain't worked in years. I remember that night. You took me off the street in Whitechapel all the way up to that fancy hotel room. And then... nothing. You didn't touch me.
Why are we talking about this?
Because I know why we didn't do anything. You're trying to fix yourself. Trying to teach yourself to like girls. Can't learn that, can ya?
What do you want? Do you want money?
No! Just tell the detective you didn't hear my voice. It wasn't me.
And if I refuse?
I wonder... does Daddy know about your little secret?
How long are you going?
What about you? Do you like hiding the real you under that shell?
How long are you going?
You wait out there. I'll call you. Au revoir, monsieur. Au revoir.
Tell me.
Andy,
And you know this exactly how?
I just know.
You have to do a little better than that.
Why else would he run away?
Remind me, what was your advice?
Well, I certainly seem to be at people's beck and call this evening.
You told Monsieur Gustave that you heard my voice right before Tesla was murdered.
Miss Bernhardt, could you please keep this between us?
Why?
Because I want to know who spiked my whiskey before I announce that I know it was spiked. It's good to have one person I can trust.
It is.
If you didn't, why are you here? Why are you here, Mr. Edison?
Because I wanted to know what he meant.
About what?
Tesla said if I came, he could make my mistake undone. I wanted to know how.
What mistake? Oh, I assure you, I will find out either way.
A man like me receives dozens of unsolicited designs every day. Some of my inventions may have been, shall we say, inspired by those designs. And somehow Nikola found out. He called it my great mistake. Dear God, I do hope this isn't your will. There's barely a word spelled correctly.
So,
What's going on? Oh, I thought you were,
Locked up? Well, I ain't. Here. You're famous,
no,
ain't you?
I'm just an engineer.
Yeah, hold on. You're that inventor. Thomas Edison. You come up with a gramophone, didn't you? Which means you know how machines work. Things like this.
Where'd you get that?
I found it.
I could have sworn Mr. Vanderberg had one just like it. Where's he?
I'm not his keeper. Maybe he's dead.
Why would you say that?
They're just words. Can say what we like, can't we? Come here. Look, I don't buy it. Actually, that's a lie. I do buy it, but I need you to show me how this works. Now come here.
I'd rather not lower myself to using Tesla's garbage.
I'd rather you did. Now. Right now.
It's, fairly straightforward. So the detective let you go?
Well, he must have, mustn't he?
Well, it must...
Business, but he let me go.
I do hope you didn't murder the detective. I rather liked him.
Not that it's any of your business, but he let me go. Most people are afraid to be alone with me.
I like dangerous men. They tend to like me.
I can see why.
Wait. Why do I feel like we know each other?
Perhaps you haven't a memory of the future.
That's a high idea for a low man.
A low man.
That's how you seem.
I get the feeling that most people in this house aren't what they seem. Thought I'd join the club.
Were you in my room? Why were you in my room? Monsieur!
I was making a mistake.
A mistake?
Look, I'm not stupid. You don't like dangerous men. No one does. But I came up here hoping you might. But the truth is, A woman like you wants to get into the veins of all the men in the house. Tell them what they want to hear, and then when the killer does step into the light, all those infatuated men will protect you. I think you find safety in their adoration. I don't begrudge you. I just ain't gonna fall for it, that's all.
You are an insightful man.
Yeah, it's because I find my safety in their fear. I don't have your looks, you see.
So this is not the real you.
Oh, I'm everything I say I am. I just don't want to kill everyone I meet. I think that'd be nagging.
So, we are both acting then, huh?
Or lying. What's the difference?
An actor can be trusted.
All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players.
You know Shakespeare?
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, gentle fine as this, my lips two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayers effect I take. Do they kiss now?
Yes.
Thus from my lips by yours are sinners purged.
How did this happen?
Just good luck, I suppose. You've lost someone, haven't you? I can tell.
Yes.
Man?
No.
Husband?
Mademoiselle? Miss Banner?
I will be
Who'd
back.
you lose?
For the best. Just remember, she's an actress. She lies for a living.
Bonsoir, gentlemen.
Is something burning?
Monsieur!
I smell smoke!
Monsieur, please! Please!
Oh?
Well, he must have, mustn't he? Stupid. So this is your plan. The love of a good woman. Yeah. I can see how that would change me. I like your taste. You gave me a sign. You gave me a wonderful gift. But men like him, they take away gifts like that from me. They've done it all my life. So maybe, just maybe, you don't want me to this away just yet.
Go and do what I told you.
Well, come on then, Tesla.
I have to get inside that room.
Tell me how it works. Down to thunder. What am I gonna do? Tell me. What am I gonna do? If I can get this to work. I can help her out.
Well, it must have been.
Tesla's will. Last will and testament of Nikola Tesla. I,